Hello friends, welcome once again to our Ionic 5 login and sign up tutorial. In this video we are going to be adding a user profile to our application. I know some of you have been requesting me to do a video on a user's profile. So in this video we are going to see how we can store our profile images into Firebase. And there are also other services that we can use to store our images, like upload care service, which can also be used as Firebase. We just store our images to upload care and then reference, get the URL of our images into our Firestore. But in this video we are going to be using Firebase to upload our profile images. Before we start, let's go back to our application. So this is our project, and let's go to login page, and inside here, okay, let's navigate to login screen where we log in using Firebase. Okay, good. So now this is our page that we use to log in our user, which is when you click login, we are taken to this page. So what we have to know, that for us to add to update our profile, our user profile, we need to call our update function when the user has logged in. For example, if you sign up a new user account, you are redirected to this page, which is login page. So when you, after signing up, you log in. So in the process of logging in, that's where we create our user profile. Okay, let's go ahead and go to this page, which is the login screen page, and inside here we will go where we log in our use here, so where we get the response when the user has logged in. So now inside here, let's first log in and see the response that we are going to get first. So I'm going to be using our test email, test@test.com, and then password, that one, and let's log in. Good. So when we log in, we get a user object which is returned to us, and in this object we have this user information, but we don't have a user and display name for this user, so that's okay. We'll fix that. Okay, now we have email, which is that one, and the user's UI ID, which is this one, and photo URL, we don't have the photo of this user. For this video we'll be using email and username, and also photo URL. So we'll be capturing these details into our Firebase. Okay, now inside here where we are getting this response, this object, I'm going to go ahead and comment out that code. Then here I will just check to see whether the user is available before we go ahead. So I will create an if condition, and here we'll pass in response.user. If response.user is true and we have this user object, then inside here we'll go ahead and create our constant user profile, which will equal to Firestore. So we have to import in Firestore, which will be Angular. Good. So after that, then we go ahead and say this dot firestore dot collection. So here we'll put docs, and inside our document we'll pass in the user response dot user dot uid. So this will be the document ID for our user profile. Okay, each document will be represented by the user's ID. So having done that, then we can say user profile get, then we subscribe to this. So we'll say we'll have a result. We say result dot exists. So here we are checking to see whether we have any document for this particular user who has logged in or not. If the document exists, then we navigate this user. Actually, we have to import in another package here, which will be private nav, which will be nav controller. Okay, so after that, then here we say this dot nav, then navigate forward. So this one will take us to our tabs page. So this condition will check to see whether the document of this user exists. If it does, if it exists, then we navigate the user to the tabs page. Now else, if the document does not exist, then here we update our, as in we add a new user's profile. Okay, so for us to be able to add a user's profile, we'll then .firestore.doc, and then inside our document we'll create a profile, and then here we are creating a document of profile. Then we navigate to the user's ID, which will be authservice dot get. Okay, we don't have it, so let's go in our auth service, and then we create ourselves a UID, a get UID method, which we are going to call in our function. So inside here, just above these injectables, we'll create an export interface. Then here we create user, but remember Firebase also has an object called user. So maybe we'll call this okay, let's just call it user, and then inside here we'll have username, which will be of type string, and then we'll have UID, which will also be of type string. Save, and let's declare it here. So private user will be of type user. Good. So that having declared there, then we create our methods. So here we set our user method, which will have user of user. Then here we return this user you have defined here. Then we'll equal to this user. Then here we get the user. So get, okay, let's get user UID, and this will be of type string. So inside here we'll return this user.uid. Good. So now let's go back to our login page, and then here we'll pass in this .authservice get user UID, and then but first we need to set this user, because now here it will return it will give us an error since we don't have any UID which is set. So we go back where we log in. So here so I will just up here. So if our login is successful, then we will set this authservice set user, and then here we'll pass in username, and username will be response display name. That will be the name of our user. Then UID will be response user.uid. Okay, so now after setting our user here, we'll go ahead and pass in the UID, which is this one. Let's save and check out our application and see what we have. So we'll go to login page, then here we'll put in test@test.com, then put in password, that one. So we log in. We are getting a unquote set user is not a function. Okay, let's go and fix that. Let's just move this code out of this function. So we'll just put it just above here, and then here we set the parameters that we need to be added to this profile, and one of them will be name, which will be response.user.name, display name, and then you have email, which will be user.email address. Good. So we are going to be setting this for this user profile. Okay, save, and let's go back and check. Okay, now let's log in again. Test@test.com, password that one. So if we log in, still we are getting this error. Let's see what or not. Okay, maybe let's just let's change this user ID and also user ID here. Good. So I think our error was on this user object, since Firebase also has a user object called user, so we couldn't use the same user here. So I had to add something to differentiate it from this Firebase user. We have our collection, which is profile, and then we have our document, and inside our document we have our email, and the name is now, because we don't there is no name for this user. Okay, so we have finished creating a profile here. So what we are going to now look at next is how we can add a profile picture to this user document. Okay, now to do so, we'll go back to our project, and inside here we'll generate a page called upload image page. So firstly, before we navigate the user to the tabs page, we'll go to our login page, and not login page, but yeah, login page, this one, and where we are having our login screen, we'll change this one to upload image page. So if we refresh and see what we have, so if we, yes, this is going to be the page that is going to contain our image upload button. So if we click on this button, we upload the image to Firebase. Alright, so let's go and create that button. So we'll go in our upload image page, and inside here we'll just get rid of this header, we don't need it. So inside here we'll create a div container, and we'll give it a class of and we'll just copy that and style our container, which will be display will be. In our previous video we looked at how we can center our container contents. Okay, so we can go ahead and add our iron button. Alright, so let's save and see what we have. Yeah, but our background has not changed, so let's fix that. It is Ionic content, not container. Yeah, so maybe I can change this color to ash, like so. Yeah, that one will be much better. So we can change our background and button. Save and let's check it out. Change this a little bit. Yeah, something like that. So now if we select our image, we can select anything, and we need to create that function first. So you can go and just copy all this code and then go to upload image. Now after creating our function there, Let's go ahead and test out. See if we click upload, nothing happens. So let's capture this image event first. So to do so, we'll just create a constant here. It will be constant file. We'll go to event, target files. Then here we'll console log our file like so. So let's save and then test. Alright, so if we select an image once more, good, we get this object which is returned, and this is our image file that we have here. It has the date modified, the name which is there, then the size which is there, and the type. So everything that we need about this image is right here. Good, so what we can do is can create a class which will be file name. Maybe what we can do, let's just create it above here. So it's a file name of type string, and file size type string. So these are the elements, the variables we are going to use to capture this image data. And maybe we can also add is loading. So we are going to add a progress bar to our page, and is loaded a boolean. So if the image is in the process of uploading, this will turn to true, and then this will turn to false. But then if we call them inside here, we'll have all these elements too. Good, so now let's go here first, and let's see this file name. So this one is going to contain the object of this image. The entire image file is here. So we can then, if you want to get the name of this image, we can just pass in the name on this. Okay, so can also console log that and see what we have. Save and let's check it out. Good, so this is the image object that we are talking about, and this is actually the image info, which has the name, size, and everything. Alright, so this is what we'll be uploading to Firebase. What we need to do is we need to come here. We'll create an ng if. So if our page is not loading and also is not loaded, then we will show this page. Otherwise, let's create a card. We will just present a card. So iron card, and here we'll have ng if the page is loading and is not yet loaded, then we will present this. So here we'll have our iron card content. So we are going to be calculating the percentage, the loading in terms of percentage. So we'll create this Alright, so we save that. Okay, now in this video we have added our user profile and also created this image upload page. So in my next video we are going to see how we can add functionality to our page and also see how this progress bar is going to be appearing after the image has been loaded. Okay, so thank you for watching and see you in my next video. Bye bye.